Oh, amazing. We are amazing. And our theme this morning is going to really take us into not only are we amazing, but we have the tools that allow us to become more amazing. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. So I love the song and I love the way it all folded together because as Reverend Sage so beautifully said, this month's theme is planting seeds of new beginnings today, preparing the soil and trusting the invisible. So Thoreau had a quote saying, "Though I do not believe that a plant will spring up where no seed has been planted, I have great faith in a seed, and when planted, I'm prepared to expect miracles." This morning, I'd like to talk about planting seeds, belief in the invisible, and expecting miracles. So for planting seeds, how many are gardeners here? There's quite a few of you, yeah. Well, you know that when you plant a tomato seed, you're going to get a tomato, whether you're a gardener or not. You know that's what's going to happen. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, used this analogy of seed, soil, and plant to guide us in awakening to a better life. He knew our thinking influenced everything about our lives. And he kept saying, "Thoughts are things, although invisible, they have power." What is so liberating about this is how it all works. So I love this. Ernest Holmes was so aware of our thinking and how it influences us and how it can make a total difference in our lives. But some of our thinking is, I'm not enough, this isn't enough, if I only had this, my life would be so much better. And he was shepherding us in a way to understand that right where we are enough. Right where we are amazing. But sometimes if we're not having that experience, or we don't have that feeling, or we want that feeling, how do we go about it? And he used the analogy of seed, soil, and plant to move us in awareness of how to have a tool to make things work. I like to think of religious science as a tire iron. Sounds a little bizarre, but if you've ever had a flat tire, you are so happy to have a tire iron in your car. It's a very good thing. And religious science is like that because a lot of times we have a flat tire and we want to change it, but we don't know how to do it. I had to get instruction. How does this thing work? And that's one of the gifts of religious science, is teaching us how things work. So with Ernest Holmes, using the idea of seed, soil, and plant, he said, thoughts are seeds. We plant them. When we say, I'm amazing, it's a seed that's being planted. When we say, oh, I'm not doing well enough, I only wish I had this or that, it's a seed that's been planted. And what I loved and was so liberating about his thinking was once you understand that thoughts are things, they're seeds, you can plant a garden or you can manifest in your life what you want to happen. And that's an outrageous thing for some people. Like, I'm not bound by circumstances or conditions. There's something else at work here. Yes, and what he tried to do was assist us in understanding what happens when you plant a seed. When you plant a seed in mind, in the soil, in consciousness, the soil, like planting a tomato seed, doesn't say, dang, I wish he planted a watermelon. It just says yes. You planted a tomato seed, you're going to get a tomato. It's the law. I love the way it's explained in one of his chapters where he says, here's how it works. Red and blue always make purple. Is that correct? Do you believe that? Red and blue always make purple. That's the law. So in understanding that the law is impersonal, it's the most liberating thought you can ever have. Because whatever you have now, you don't have to be enough, get enough, have a spiritual intercession, have a spiritual happening to happen. All you have to know is I change my thinking and the law operates on my new thought. It just says yes. That's so liberating. You don't have to do anything. It's the law. It's the way it works. If yesterday it didn't work for you, you have 5 years of history of stuff that didn't work. Right now, in this moment, because you understand the way the law works, liberation is possible. Red and blue will always make purple. There's always a yes to your thought. So as gardeners, what we do is we just know, oops, I don't like what's manifesting in my life. I don't like what's manifesting in the world. I want things to be different. We start doing what we call affirmative prayer. We start changing our thinking and changing our life. No one has to be more special. No one has more power than anyone else. Once you understand the law works the same at all times because it's impersonal, it's free will. It says yes to whatever it is that you have intention. We have lots of personally and collectively. And I know doing the work of seeing the world as it is, I realize these are the collective thoughts of humanity moving forward. The mess we're in is the thoughts of not enoughness, there's othering, there's one God, it's the one I belong, the church I belong to. No, that's my old history. But there are those ideas of how things work. And we know that there is one life, and that life is God, and it is our life, and we're amazing. And once we say that truth, there's a yes to it. If you're struggling with something right now, whatever it is, change the thought about it and know that there's a yes to that thought. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change anything. By the nature of who we are, the nature of who you are, something else will start to grow. It's an amazing, yes, I hear it. It's amazing. There's an affirmation to that. So in planting seeds in soil, and it'll be a month of going deeper into our own understanding, I just ask us to really work on the idea, one power, one presence, one life. As I shared with you last week, when I'm watching the news, it's a prayer request. It's a prayer request for me that I can be big enough, bold enough to incorporate differences. And if someone doesn't agree with me, I don't know, the new law is you can't talk to them. Don't go to the dinner table with them. We're not going to talk about that. I want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it from the highest elevation, that our diversity makes us amazing. And that we all have differences, and there is something in us that is having to grow out of the sense of separation. If we keep doing the same old, we'll get the same old. And I know as the congregation of elders, and I really feel this is elder wisdom, we've lived long enough to know the truth, that there is one life. We've seen our planet from space. We know that there's one life. And so how do we hold, when we're in situations that are challenging, someone believes differently, and we all have our strong beliefs on all kinds of issues? Take a breath, understand we're all expressions of the one life, and have an open heart. That's the only way I know that we're going to get out of the mess we're in, is with an open heart. And I'm challenging myself to have that open heart because I have my own issues to work through. But I know that the law, the seed that I plant, when I hear something different, I say, oh, that's another way to think about it. Yes. Oh, the world's going to turn out fine. Yes. God's on the playing field with us right now. Yes. Everybody is a child and an expression of the one life. Yes. Those seeds are planted and they will sprout. Because I know that the law works. This is what Ernest Holmes has really given us as a truth that we really can depend on. So I love that we have the power and we have it right now, because it's in this moment that you can change your life. You don't have to do anything else but get your mind wrapped around the idea that you want to express and start affirming that truth for yourself. And just know the soil, that consciousness is being acted upon by a divine power. So the other is, you have to have a belief in the invisible. And I'd like to share a story with you. And I think Lori sent me this week, and I love it. 2 babies were in the womb. The first one asked, "Do you believe in delivery?" The second replied, "Of course, there has to be something after delivery, and maybe we're here to prepare ourselves for what will be later." The first said, "Nonsense. There's no life after delivery. What kind of life would that be?" The second one said, "I don't know, but there might be more light than here, and maybe we'll walk with our legs and eat with our mouth. Maybe we will have other senses that we cannot understand now." And the first one said, "That's ridiculous. Walking is impossible, and eating with our mouth is unbelievable. The umbilical cord is what supplies nutrition and all that we need, but it's far too short. Life after delivery just doesn't make sense." The second said, "What if it's just different? Maybe we don't need the cord anymore." The first one said, "Well, if there were life after delivery, then tell me, why hasn't anyone ever come back from there?" Delivery is the end of life, and after delivery is darkness, silence, and oblivion. It takes us nowhere. The second one said, "But certainly we'll meet Mother." And the first one said, "Mother? You actually believe in Mother? If Mother exists, where is she?" The second one said, in a very deep way, "She's all around us. We are of her. It is in her we live. Without her, this world could not exist." The first one says, "I don't see her. It's only logical she's not here. I don't see her." And the second one said, "Sometimes when you are in silence and you really listen, you can perceive her presence. You can hear her loving voice calling from above." I would like us to take a minute and just hear God's voice inside of ourselves. Just take a moment to know you're amazing. And though there is an invisible life, we live, move, and have our being in the divine. So if we can just together take a breath, relax into the moment, and to know right now that the power, the presence, the love of God is right where we are. We're steeped in it. So join me in that breath. This is why we expect a miracle, because we are the seeds of God. We are loved, we are cared for, and we are cherished. And we're like that story of the two embryos. We're listening, though. We're listening for something greater, for God's voice to speak to us. And even if we don't hear it, we start affirming, I am open to divine guidance. I'm opening to hearing what's mine to do. I'm opening to bring forth that job, that relationship, that feeling. That's planting the seed, and we water that seed with feeling. That's what we water it with, because a thought plus a feeling equals the demonstration. You can't just stay in your head. You've got to be in your heart. That's what makes the connection. Thought plus a feeling equals a demonstration. So to expect your miracle, get the thought that you want to experience and express in your life. What is it? Just get it in there. And then start feeling, what will it be like? What does it feel like to have that? What does it feel like to be that? What does it feel like to have and know right now something is moving in your life because of the work you're doing? I also always ask us as religious scientists to apply this to our planet. I'm so concerned about so many things that are going on that I know my work is in the morning to stop and to pray for the world and to pray for our awakening and to know and follow these instructions. It's our thinking, it's our othering, it's our not enoughness. All of this has to go so we can be what God is calling us to be. We have to be that one baby that can perceive the voice even though we don't see it, hear the voice, and then come forth from the voice. So as I close this talk, I just want to thank you for being with me 2 Sundays in a row. I love this community. I love religious science. It has liberated me from so many things. Once I knew that red and blue made purple, my life was totally changed. So I hope I shared that with you today, and that you find the place in your own heart to bring forth the life that you want, the life that will really bring you happiness and joy, and a life that we have been praying for year after year, a world that truly works for everybody. Thank you so much. I love you.